TJ, when did you kind of get a sense you were going to play today, and when, just your thoughts on how this all went today?
Well, my sense of, when I got to, find out where I was actually going to play was probably on Tuesday, where Coach pulled me in with the one group and started getting reps with the ones, and I wasn't playing really any more scout team with the D, and I let my folks know, hey, like I got a shot to play here, and they were excited for me, and that was my first sense. And then there's a lot of thoughts going through my head right now. First I got to thank the Lord above, my Lord and Savior, because without Him I wouldn't have gotten this chance. So and then secondly, I want to thank the O-line, because obviously it doesn't happen without them either. And then third, I want to thank the two senior running backs, because they mentored me through all this stuff. I couldn't have done it without them either. So, I had a fun night. Other than that, there's lots of things going through my mind, but it was an exciting day.
In the days leading up to this, did it feel anything like when you were getting ready for your first game at South Lake Carroll?
Honestly, it was a bit different coming into it. I've always through fall camp and through these first 2 weeks of football, I thought the game was different. Like the speed was different, all that stuff. And when I got put in today, it was like I was playing high school football. I mean, it all kind of fits the same way. Like, line makes their blocks, and you find a hole and you just cut through it. And it's the same thing in high school. I didn't really see much of a speed difference or any of that stuff. It felt like I was playing in the Friday Night Lights. It was a lot of fun. But other than that, I didn't really change much. I practiced the best I could all week, and I made the most of my opportunity.
What was the reaction like from teammates? It looked like they were pretty excited, but kind of what were you hearing down there? It was a lot of different reactions. A lot of teammates were just like, where'd this come from? Where's this been the past 2 weeks? Well, I don't know. Guess I've been using it on y'all on scout team. Then there were others that they were just happy for me. So there were a lot of different emotions, a lot of different thoughts going through people's heads, but I'm sure that they were excited for me, and anything I can do for the team, I'm going to do it. Where they put me, I'm going to play the position. I played a little bit of special teams today, so that's where I thought I was going to get a majority of my playing time on special teams, and things went well for me, and I kept running on offense, and it was a good day.
Pat, your conference defensive player of the week last week. Tonight, 7 tackles, 3 sacks. What was as a defense, your primary goal facing this offense tonight?
Really just stopping the pass, just executing our defense. It was nothing really special as long as we not beating ourselves.
TJ, you played like this at the highest level of Texas high school football. How much did you learn from, playing in 6A ball, playing the type of teams that South Lake Carroll plays?
I learned a ton. Playing at that level, it's different. You're going through a lot of different teams that, they have SEC type guys, Pac-12 type guys, and you play those guys. And a lot of them are great football players and make a huge difference on the defense. So, going out there against Texas State, it wasn't much different from playing a Friday night football team, with a whole bunch of D1 guys. It was just kind of one of those days.
Did you ever think you might redshirt? I mean, I don't think you were in the participation chart the first 2 games now, right? So did you ever think there might be a possibility?
I really did think there was a possibility. I talked to my coaches about it, and they were telling me, we want to try to keep you under 4 games if possible. And I had a big decision that I wanted to make with telling them that. Like, we were kind of on the same page whenever I told them that, and they were like, good, we just want to make sure that we are on the same page with it.
But, you know, I talked to my brother about it too, because when he played at Notre Dame, he said if he could go back, he would have redshirted. You know, he wasted his, back then there was no 4 games. It was, you know, you get in one play, your redshirt's done. And, you know, his freshman year, he got 2 carries and 2 kickoffs. And that was a waste of his freshman year. And he said if he could go back, he would have done it. So he's been encouraging me a lot this past year to, you know, redshirt and save that year. You know, let the 2 seniors go and get my shot next year. You know, I accepted that. I was all right with that. You know, in the grand scheme of things, I think it's a smart idea. It's like getting held back again. So, you know, I don't know what they're going to do with me now. If they choose to redshirt me still, great. I'm okay with it. If they don't, then I'm okay with that too, because I'm still going to perform.
And it sounded like that was something you wanted. Do you still want that?
You know, I wouldn't have a problem with it. If they chose to, you know, I'm not going to complain with them. You know, I had a great game tonight, and you know, if I have a great game another day, then you know I don't know what their reaction is going to be to it. But right now, from what I've heard right now, my plan is to redshirt. If they want to do something different, then I'm okay with that.
When they told you that you were going to be on one of the Dallas billboards, what was kind of your reaction to that?
You know, it was exciting. It gave me a lot of hope. Like, man, you know, if I'm on a billboard, like, what is my real shot of playing? So, you know, I kind of accepted, like, man, I'm gonna get to play this year. And then, you know, first week, scout team. Well, all right, okay. Well, you know, I'm all right. I'm just gonna redshirt, save this year. I'm gonna be okay. So, you know, it was a different feeling whenever that happened, but you know, I was okay with it. You know, making my defense better was something I took to heart, and you know, going out and making plays against the defense was something that, you know, I guess the coaches saw, and you know, that's when they finally made their decision to throw me in this week. And like I said earlier, I made the most of my opportunity. It's a fun game.
What made SMU the right place for you when you were coming out of high school?
You know, when I was looking for a school, I was looking for a coaching staff that, you know, wasn't going to demoralize you in practice if you made a mistake. You know, I grew up with 2 brothers. One went to a school that didn't demoralize people. He said he loved it, even though he's a walk-on. He loved it. You know, then I had another brother who went to a school that said he went through that process of getting demoralized and coaches throwing F-bombs and GDs at him, and he said it just made it horrible. So, you know, this coaching staff at SMU doesn't do that stuff. And, you know, I can go through practice and not have fear of making a mistake, knowing that, you know, they're going to be okay. Like, let's run that back. You know, that was something that was big. And then, you know, our strength conditioning came into play when I was making that decision too. You know, Coach Kaz is, in my opinion, the best in the business. And if I can get in his hands and, you know, he can have me for 4 years, I can stay pretty confident that I'm going to be a healthy running back for, you know, 4 years. And, you know, those were 2 big things that swayed me to SMU. And, you know, now I'm here, and it's been a blast.
Well, you mentioned Cam. I mean, Cam, you know, playing at Notre Dame, playing on one of the highest stages of college football.
Yeah.
Did you learn, like you mentioned, both good and bad, that kind of comes with playing on that stage and playing for those kinds of programs versus being able to thrive at a place?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, my recruiting process, you know, I went through a lot with Cam. Like, you know, I'd take a visit and, you know, I'd be texting Cam the whole time. Like, it was just that type of thing because, you know, he's been through it, he's done that. You know, I was new to that stuff. You know, there's a lot of hype in the recruiting process, a lot of stress. You know, he was someone that I could go to relieve that stress and, you know, ask him questions, get answers. You know, I thank him for that because, you know, if I didn't, then, you know, there was a good chance that I probably wouldn't have been here. You know, when I got the offer to go to SMU, he was like, that's a no-brainer. Like, you have a chance to go to SMU, get a great degree. You know, if football doesn't work out, like obviously I'm living proof. He was saying to me, you know, I'm living proof of it. football after college didn't work out for me. So that degree helps a lot. And, coming to a place like SMU, that degree is going to help a lot if football doesn't work out for me in the end. God forbid it doesn't. I mean, I love the sport. I want to go to the NFL. But, I got to have that degree just in case.
There are a lot of people who kind of, I guess, sell out to try to play Power 5 or play at the Blue Blood or whatever. Do you think that just seeing that experience made you realize that maybe that's not necessarily always the right thing to do?
Yeah, in a lot of cases it is. Having the hype of the Power 5 and stuff, I don't think it's a big deal. Like, you got UCF, who, they're in the same conference as us, and we're not technically a Power 5 conference, but they still get top 10 in the nation pretty much every year. That's a good football program, and when people accept all these thoughts of I want to go to a Power 5 school, I need to go to a Power 5 school, make a name for myself, whatever. Then they get there and then they don't even get the chance to play. Like, they go into their freshman year like, yeah, I'm going to get to play, all this stuff, and then, they end up on scout team. And in the grand scheme of things, like, it's all D1 football. It's all Division I football. We're playing the same teams. We play TCU next week. They're in the Big 12. Like, that's a Power 5 school, whatever. We're still playing, in that Power 5 vicinity. Like, it's in the grand scheme of things, we're all playing the same people. So that wasn't a big thing to me. Like, I got an offer from Oregon, got an offer from Clemson, Power 5 schools. It's all great, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't think it really matters. It's all Division I football.
Coach Dykes was talking about how your offense maybe left some points out on the field in the first half, and I know you played more in the second half, but Shane Buechele had a couple 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he had a couple of picks, and just reading his body language, he looked pretty upset. Did you get a chance to either talk to him or see him? How do you think he responded to that?
I actually didn't get a chance to talk to him. He actually got a chance to talk to me, and he was just saying, when you get the ball, keep doing your thing, man. So, he gave me a lot of confidence. After I got my first touchdown and all that stuff, he was like, keep doing it, keep doing your thing. I'm gonna hand it off to you, and you're gonna score again. So, he gave me a lot of confidence with that stuff. But Shane's not the person to let interception to bring him down. Even though his body language might say it, in his mind, he's not the person to just stick with it. He's the person to move past that, clear that, and move on, and go on the next drive. And for him to be able to throw 2 picks and still have over 100 yards. How many yards was it?
219.
Yeah, a couple 100 yards. It's pretty extraordinary. It just kind of tells you the quarterback he is. We're thankful to have him because if he wasn't here, it'd be a lot different. Be a lot different program.
Have you had a chance to check your cell phone after the game, and have you heard from anybody that you hadn't expected to?
I did check my phone. I just had a couple. I really checked it just to text my parents and let them know, stay out there for a little bit. I got a press conference, just that. But I'm not gonna lie, I had to scroll a little bit just to get to my dad's messages. But I saw a lot of friends texting me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check it after this and give a lot of thank yous, and I appreciate it. But I'm pretty sure maybe my phone might be a little blown up right now. That's why I didn't bring it in here, because my watch be buzzing everywhere. So I'm sure.